Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Final Fantasy, where after last time's total party knockout, I spent a bit of time off camera redoing all that and getting back to where we were. So we're now outside the Marsh Cave, having completed it. We have got the crown, a crown that shimmers mysteriously, which we now need to take back to the guy, the king at the castle. But before we do that, I'm going to wander back to Elfheim for two reasons. One, so we can go and have a rest and restore all our hit points and magic points and that sort of thing. And two, to see if we can get any upgrades, see if we can get any more spells or weapons or anything like that. Or to get paralysed by gusts. That's good too. Nope, nothing with which I can do anything about that. I can deer them all though. And fire them. So, for those who have been asking how long this game is and how thorough I'm going to be with it, well, the first Final Fantasy is anywhere between about 10 and 20 hours, depending on how serious you take it, how far you go into it, and which version you're playing as well. So, the original NES version and the PSP version that we're playing here, they kind of counterbalance each other a bit, because in the original NES version, you have to grind a bit more, because you're slower to gain experience and money. But in the PSP version, there's more content, so you're probably looking at about 15-20 hours in total. As for how thorough I'm going to be, in this series in general, I'm not aiming for sort of optimal playthroughs or 100% playthroughs or anything like that. But in the case of this game specifically, there wasn't a lot of optional side content in the original Final Fantasy in the first place. And also the additional stuff that was added for the Game Boy Advance and PSP versions is really good anyway. So in the case of this first game, I'm probably going to do all of it. But that won't necessarily be the case for all of the ones in this series. So we'll see how things go. That's definitely going to be an interesting consideration when we come on to stuff like the MMOs in this series, because there's a lot of optional content in those, a lot of which is completely dependent on having other people to play with, so I'll probably skip that sort of stuff where it's not compulsory to progress in the story. And also anything too hideously time consuming I will probably skip as well, although it would be nice to do some stuff for the first time that I've never done before. So we'll see when we get there. This is going to be a pretty casual playthrough, so I'm pretty much taking it as it comes, to be perfectly honest. We'll decide on things as we get to them. My main reason for starting this in the first place is I've been meaning to play through all of the Final Fantasy back-to-back for probably about 10 years now. And there's more of them now. So, I mean, it's as good as time as any to do that, because there's some that I haven't played all that much. Like Final Fantasy V, I've hardly spent any time with over the years. I have played it, I just haven't finished it. Same with Final Fantasy VI. I've played that a lot more, but I still haven't finished it. 13 I want to revisit, because everyone hates it today except me and a couple of other people I know, and so I kind of want the opportunity to play it through and show the good things about it. 11 I'm very keen to play through, because as an MMO it's probably a Final Fantasy that has the least amount of coverage online in terms of sort of more casual players. I mean, there's plenty of coverage of it from the perspective of it being an MMO, but from the perspective of it being a Final Fantasy, maybe less so. So I'm keen to look at it from that perspective. And the other ones I just haven't played for a long time, so I'm looking forward to revisiting them. Like Final Fantasy VII is the reason that I like role-playing games at all in the first place. Before Final Fantasy VII, I didn't really know what a role-playing game was, how you played them, what a long history they had prior to that point. Obviously, I've re-educated myself a lot now, but prior to Final Fantasy VII, yeah, I didn't know a thing about this genre. And that game had a real impact on me and my friends when it first came out. I remember the reason I wanted to try it in the first place is my brother was talking about it, and he was talking about the fact it was the first game he'd ever come across that had made people cry. And I'm sure you know what scene he was referring to. But something about that description made me want to try it. Something about that description of a game that had such an emotional impact on people who played it that they burst into tears. I'd never seen that happen before. I mean, I played games with a certain amount of emotional engagement in them before. Like, I played things like the LucasArts and the Sierra Adventures, but I'd never come across something that had such a powerful impact on the people who played it that they wanted to cry. And I've always had a sort of perverse fascination with things that provoke that kind of emotional outburst, which is why I gravitate towards emotional anime and visual novels and that sort of thing. And so I wanted a piece of that, frankly. I wanted to cry. I can't promise I'm going to cry in this video series because, you know, I know what happens in most cases. But I'll see what I can do for you. In the meantime, we have this. Now, in some ways, simultaneously, the best and worst thing about this game is the fact that you really don't have to think too hard about it while you're playing. So, I mean, I can have this conversation with you while I'm playing it because, I mean, I'm just wandering on the map, getting into fights, and nothing is happening in the story. Because, well, I mean, in this game, the story is pretty weak in terms of how it's expressed anyway, so... But that does make it particularly suitable to handheld play, which is why the PSP version is a very good one to go for, why the GBA version is a very good one to go for. I don't know about the mobile ports. I haven't tried them. I think they're based on the PSP version, but they are mobile games. And so that means you have to deal with things like horrible touchscreen controls and that kind of thing. So, generally speaking, I don't recommend the mobile versions of anything. But if you don't have any other option, then, I don't know, might be worth checking out. Right, let's have a rest. I would love to stay tonight. We done? Good. Right, let's also save. There's one thing I remembered is that although you could only save on the world map or when you rested at an inn in the original game, in this version you can actually save anywhere. So if I wanted to save in the middle of a dungeon, you can do. So that's one thing I misinformed you previously, so I apologise for that. Right, let's see if we can afford any spells that we don't have. So level 3 spells, they're 1,000 each. What do that do? Lows evasion of all foes. Like fire and thunder are pretty essential. Hold. I think hold's probably going to be more useful than Fokara. So let's get fire for you, and thunder for you, and hold for you. And that leaves us with 3,000 of our white magic spells. Wonderful. Which are around here. So, Cura, definitely. Diarrhea. Yes. Oh, that's a tricky one. Oh, I'm going to go for Null Blaze. Because there are other heal spells. There are other group heal spells. Is that the right thing to do? I'm doing it. There we go. Right. Okay, so no money left. I don't think we can go and do anything about the prince just yet. I think we have to go and take the crown to the guy in the ruined castle, but let's just make sure of that. Where is the prince? In here. The prince has slept under Astos' curse for 5 years now. There must be some medicine that can rouse the sleeping, but where? Okay, so we need medicine, not the crown for him. So, let's go and see if the guy in the castle will give us some medicine and absolutely not betray us and turn out to be a dark elf. As that would never happen. That would never happen. Absolutely not. I'm sure everything will be absolutely perfectly fine. Oh, I'm missing a level 2 spell. I should probably go back and get that at some point. So we need to go back to Provoker for that one. But in the meantime, you can hit things with a hammer. And you can fire at everything. Boom! Ooh, very nice. Suddenly AoEs. Right, where was that castle is the question. I don't think it was over here. I think it was over up here. Maybe. Yeah, one thing I've always particularly liked about the Final Fantasy series as a whole is the sense of power creep. It's done really nicely, so it feels very nice and gradual, but it's noticeable. So in some games, you have a massive jump in power level. So like Falcom's Ease series is a good example of that. So every level you gain in Ease is a massive difference, particularly in the first one where there's only 10 levels. But then other games have such a minor difference between levels that it almost doesn't feel leveling up at some points. Whereas Final Fantasy, I think, always strikes a really good balance of that. So you feel like gaining a level is worthwhile, and over the long term you really start to notice how much more damage you're doing. Alright, King, I found your crown. You fools fell right into my trap. I am Astos, King of the Dark Elves! Exclamation mark! Oh no, a naked Dark Elf. With the combined power of the crown you now hold and the crystal eye I already possess, I will become the true Elf King. It is useless to resist me. I can take what is mine by sheer force. We'll see about that. It's a boss! Oh my god. Why not? Just in case. Let's temper Sam. One thing to note, which I can't remember if I mentioned previously, is that the original NES version didn't have any boss music, so every battle used the same theme. This version, I don't know if it was in the WonderSwan Color version offhand, it was definitely in the PS1 version, so that may have been where it was added. It's a great boss theme, I love this one. Protect yourself. And you can temper Pia. Yeah, I think there's 3 boss themes in this altogether, and they're all really good. So this is a nice upgrade over the original, if you like. Another reason for playing this version. Let's also protect Tim. And you can start throwing fires. Or blizzards. Try some blizzards. Oh! That's not very nice. Well, once again, Tim hits the floor and is the one that doesn't gain the large amount of experience. You obtained the crystal eye. Sorry. Yeah, so we've now got a crystal eye. Which we actually don't know... Or the Warriors of Light don't know what it's for at the minute, but I know what it's for. And depending on your actions at this point in the game, you might already know what it's for as well. We haven't actually been to where it's relevant at the minute. But yeah, this is a good example of the non-linear nature of this game. So you could have visited the person that you need to take this crystal eye to previously. We just haven't in this case. But that will be the next thing to do, I think. Do we have any Phoenix Downs? I have one. Do I want to get him up? Yeah, I don't really want him to miss out on too much experience. Please don't hit Tim. Or poison him, for that matter. Right, attack! And you can use your fancy new Cura spell. And you can set fire to all the spiders. Oh, look at that heal. Lovely big heal there. Overkill? Perhaps. I care not. Ow. Stupid poison. Where am I going? This way. This way? Yes, this way. I should probably check what these guys are actually weak against rather than just randomly flinging fire at them. Although fire seems to do a good job on the worms, definitely. Let's look them up, shall we? If I can remember where you look them up. Apparently I can't remember where you look them up. Ah, there we are. The square button. Okay, so ogres, they have no weaknesses, that's fine. And wormy worms. Wormy worms? Wormy worms. Oh, they are weak against fire, so that's good. Alright, everything's fine. Preemptive strike! Yes, please! You can have some fire, all of you. Very nice. Alright, so what we'll do is we will go and have a quick rest at the inn in Elfheim, and then we will go to where I think we need to go. Actually, we'll stop back in the Provoker first and get those missing spells that we don't have, because we've probably got enough money for them. And that way we can make sure that we're fully equipped. At least in terms of magic, anyway. So adorable, the way they do that little spin. Okay, so there are some level 4 spells here that we can come back and get at some point, but I don't know if they can actually cast them yet. Okay, magic level 4. Tim is only magic level 3 though, so he needs to gain another level first. That's fine. Because we haven't got the money for those yet, because I think they're 2,500 each. Now, where did I park my ship? Because it's been several episodes and I'm not sure I can remember. I think it was up to the north. I think. I guess we'll find out. After this fight. Pierre doing a comfortable 3 hits now. Nice amount of damage. There's my ship. Alright. Let us ship. Here? That's Provoker, I think, isn't it? Guess we'll find out in a minute. When your white mage can take down goblins in one hit, you know it's time to move on. Oh no, this is Cornelia. Oh, who are you? Dot 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 dot. I don't remember that being a thing. Hey there, I'm a dancer. Have you met Matoya yet? She's been having a lot of trouble ever since she lost her eyesight. They say she lives across the bridge, far, far to the north. There's our clue. They said right at the start that the dancer lady there is good at giving you clues, so, and there, she's actually been helpful for once. So, we need to go past the bridge, which is there. Can we go under the bridge? We'll find out after this fight. Yes, we can go under the bridge. That's good. Now, is this a suitable dock to go and find Matoya? Let's find out. So she should be up to the north. I think that's where we need to go. So up here. Through this enormous forest. Actually, you attack him. You all attack him, and then you can fire them both. Just because I like the animation. Aha! A cave! Let us save before the cave. And then be brave. With my friend Dave. It's Matoya's cave. This is where we want it to be. It's a broom. And the broom says frontwards, backwards, anyway you see. Such a strange spell to swish swishery. To kill is not a hazard. Swish swisheroo. So, frontwards, backwards. I'm sure you can probably determine that means read that backwards. So, it says dash button select, swish swisheroo. And the reason for that, if I pop back out onto the world map, is if we press dash and select together, we get a map. I was trying to remember what that button combination for that was the other day, and I couldn't. But now I can, because it's been said to us. So this map is incredibly useful, because it shows you the whole world. It shows you all of the places that you can go into, including dungeons, which are the little yellow ones. The kind of pointy red ones like this, those are castles. Square red ones are towns. And these are the docks. The original NES version actually had this this map facility as well, but it wasn't quite as quite as useful as this. It was just an overview map, and you could only see, I think, the places you'd already been to, if I remember correctly. So this is a bit more useful, but also kind of cuts down a little bit on the exploration you have to do, so you may have mixed feelings about that. But the really nice thing that you can do with this is that you can pick any of the places you've been to previously, and so if you can't remember where, say, Provoker is, you can just say, well, show me where Provoker is, show me where the Chaos Shrine is, show me where the Marsh Cave is, and you can see all the places you've been and how to get to them, which makes your life a whole lot easier when trying to get around this world, because there's... certainly at the beginning of the game, while your mobility options are a little bit limited, yeah, you have to kind of really know your way around. Okay, so, enough map talk. Let's go meet Matoya. Thump! Ouch! My eye! My eye! Ouch! I can't see a blasted thing without my crystal eye. Who could have stolen it from me? Who indeed, I wonder. Let's just have a route down. Frontwards, backwards anyway, you'll see. Such a strange spell to swishery. Yes, we know. I'm going to read through her pots first of all, just in case there's anything in any of them. Nope. Oh, she does have some treasure chests too. Antidote. Potion. Potion. We can't nap in her bed though, that's a shame. Hello. Oh, what's this? My crystal eye? Give it here. Don't worry, I have something to give you in exchange. Take this potion. It's the most amazing potion in my entire collection. You obtain Jolt Tonic. Ah, I can see again. You're still here, I don't need you anymore, so be on your way. You're not even as attractive as I thought you'd be. Well, screw you, lady. The dancing Cornelia loves me. And Princess Sarah really loves me. I shall beat up some worms in frustration. Right, so now we have the Jolt Tonic. We should be able to go and wake up our little prince friend. Jolting him awake, if you will. So, let's go and do just that, and that should take care of this episode. I say should. I mean, I can choose when to finish this whenever I want. That is where this episode is going to conclude. Overkill. Overkills weren't a thing until Final Fantasy X, to my knowledge. But it's still satisfying. Even if they're a bit wasteful. Go away, goblins. You're beneath me. Have some thunder for a change. Pew 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 pew! Boom! Lightning death. 30 gil. Barely worth the effort. I just got the mental image of it now. Oh god, for fuck's sake, not again! Thanks, Tim. That would have been a mild inconvenience otherwise. Oh no! Seafaring monsters, bring out the lightning! Should probably be being a little bit more conservative with my magic points, but I'm having fun, so... Don't judge me. Once we get to Elfheim, I can have a nice rest anyway. Don't think there's any boss fights or anything when you wake the prince up, so nothing to worry about there. It's just plot. And from there on, you have to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do next, because I can't remember. They give you something. And that allows you to get somewhere you couldn't go previously, if I remember correctly. We'll see. Hello, me again. You think there'd be a regular discount? Or maybe they should just, like, do a block booking. It's like, we're going to be staying here for quite a while. So can you just not charge us every time? Can you just, like, give us a bit of a discounted rate? That'd be lovely. Alright. Let's save and go say hello to the prince. Hello. This jolt tonic may be just what we need to break the curse and awaken the prince. I will try it at once. Glug, 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 glug. Your Highness! Your Highness! I was having a terrible nightmare. Am I still dreaming? You're the legendary warriors. Something tells me I'm not dreaming. I shall follow the legend as it has been told to me and my forefathers. The time for me to pass on the mystic key to its rightful owners has come at last. You obtain the mystic key. Jolly good. You know what that means? Treasure! Lots of treasure! I am awake and strong again, all because of you. Thank you, Warriors of Light. Thanks to you, the prince has finally awoken. You have my undying gratitude. You've brought peace back to Elfheim. Right, before we finish for today, I'm going to do two things so I don't forget to do them later, because otherwise I will forget to do them later. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Provoker and get those level 2 spells that we're missing. And secondly, I'm going to go and rummage through the treasure boxes in Cornelia, because if I remember correctly, there's something in one of those that kind of gives you an indication of where you need to go next or what you need to do next. I might be making that up, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right. Ship, 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 ship. Ship, 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 ship. Ship, ship. Ship, 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 ship. Ah! Tim gained a level, at last. Pirates, oh no. Tim, ban them. Ban them all. Nicely done. And nice job not setting fire to the ship in the process as well. Right, Provoker, where are you? You're somewhere after this fight. Or not. Down a bit. I'm sorry, south a bit. All in one? All in one, lovely. There's a particularly satisfying thing in this game when you do something that kills everything in one go. Don't. Stop it! Alright, here we are in Provoca. So, where were the magic shops? There's one. Right, so I've already got Blinder and Silence. Well, if I've got Null Fire, I should probably have Null Shock as well, shouldn't I? So, there we go. Okay. And Black Magic. Got Blizzard. Got Dark. Got 10. Oh, that's the only one I needed. Okay, fair enough. Well then. Move. 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 Move! Warrior of Light coming through! Get out of my way! I like how they've got a hot dancer staffing the inn here. Because why not? Alright, and finally for today, back to Cornelia. Which is here. And a peek in all these rooms I couldn't get into because I didn't have the Mystic Key. Oh, there's also some rooms in the Chaos Shrine, aren't there?
The time has come to use the key to open the doors. The equipment within is sure to help you.
Yay, stuff. Cottage. Saber. Mithril knife.
The treasure house has been bound by the Mystic Key.
Not anymore, it hasn't. Tent. Iron armor. And something important. You obtain nitro powder. Right, that I think we need to take to the dwarves. Let's optimize everyone while we can. Oh, he's already got iron armor. Okay, wasn't that much of a huge upgrade, sadly. Never mind. Get down that corridor. Right, I will go to the Chaos Shrine while I think about it. There are also some rooms in the Marsh Cave that had Mystic Key locks as well, so... Oh, fuck it, we'll do them today as well, because if I don't do them now, I will forget. And I'll be annoyed with myself. Crazy horse! Tim actually doing a respectable amount of melee damage with that knife now. Right. So I think it was the 2 bottom corner ones that needed the mystic key. Ah! Gargoyles! Do you do magic? Nice. Did the job. What do you got? Rune Blade. That's exciting. What does this do? Well, it's more powerful, it's more accurate. A sword effective against spellcasters. Now, some of the weapons in this game you can actually use as an item. I have a feeling the Rune Blade is one of them, so let's just... try that. I don't know if this works, but let's give it a go. Okay, Rune Blade doesn't do anything. That's fine. But there are some items in the game that are very helpful because they're effectively a free way to cast spells. The Rune Blade just looks cool. A shiny gold sword. Right, and this one? After this fight! Oh, Sam doing 4 hits now. Damage increasing bit by bit. Oh, I've done that one. Maybe it was in the top corner. Let's find out. Do let the battle transition in this. Obviously that wasn't in the NES original because, you know, that system wasn't up to doing a fancy effect like that, but yeah, I always think the battle transition effect is an important part of an RPG that sometimes gets skimped on. But no, here, this makes a big deal of a fight starting. Which I am all for. Maybe it's the top right one. I think the only one it can be is the top right one now, actually. Be something good. No. Mini-boss. These are pre-scripted fights, if that wasn't already obvious. So, like, when you step on the square in front of those chests, the gargoyles will always attack you. There are a number of situations like that in this first game. It doesn't sort of distinguish them, especially as boss fights or anything like that, but they effectively are mini-boss fights. Werebuster. And Gold Needle. Gold Needle cures petrify? Is that right? Yes. Stone. The Werebuster. What is that? A sword effective against werebeasts. Okay, well, it's about the same effectiveness as the rune blade, so let's keep the rune blade for now. And because we have to go through that square again, we have to fight the gargoyles again. Oh, come on. I just want to leave. Let me out. Alright, Marsh Cave, then I promise we're done for today. If I can ever get there. I joke, I don't mind the fights too much. It's an important part of this game. It wouldn't be the first Final Fantasy without getting into a fight every few steps. It was an essential part of defining that being part of a modern role-playing game. Or a modern Japanese style of role-playing game, I should say, anyway. That said, although a lot of Western role-playing games have kind of moved away from the idea of random battles these days, if you look back at the early games like Wizardry and Ultima and so on, you had a lot of random encounters in those as well. The difference we have today is that, although again, even today, like modern Japanese role-playing games, a lot of them take the approach that the enemies are wandering around our field and it gives you the opportunity to avoid conflict if you prefer. So like the symbol attack system is very popular these days, so like where you can actually see the enemies walking around on the map, and if you want to engage with them you can actually give yourself an advantage if you do almost an action game style attack on them in the first place. That's not to say that there aren't role-playing games that are still doing things in a fairly traditional sort of way out there, though. And some people don't like that, and that's fine, but, you know, I still kind of like it, so. It's been part of Final Fantasy for as long as I can remember from my first encounter with it, so. Well, why not? Okay, where are we going? Elfheim. So that's south and west a bit. Getting ambushed a lot. Ooh, and Tim's nearly dead. We should probably rest in Elfheim. Right, antidote. And the rest at the inn. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera. That's probably not obvious with the size of the window on the screen, but I'm conscious I'm doing it, so I apologise for that. Right. To the Marsh Cave of Hell. Stop ambushing me! Nice. And then it was after this fight. You're not really worth my time, wolves, but I'll kill you anyway. Death by punching the balls. What a way to go. Oh my god. There's the wrong way after all that. Up a bit. I don't think there's any way to manipulate the encounter rate in this either. So I mean, obviously there isn't like a slider like there is in something like Bravely Default, but I don't think there's any equipment that affects the encounter rate either, so you just have to suck it up, basically. There are also a couple of places in the game where those predefined encounters I talked about, they unfold on every square. There's one dungeon in particular, I think it's the lava caves or whatever they're called, where the fire crystal is. There is a corridor near the entrance to that where if you go into there, every step you take has a tough fight on it. So it's a great place for grinding, but if you don't know that that is there, then it can be extremely frustrating. Right, now I think all the Mystic Key things were this way, and I think they were down the south end of stuff. Possibly on the floor below this. Because I'm pretty sure there was a floor below this. Death by Portuguese sunlight. Ow. It's funny how the addition of just a couple of simple spells to the mix makes this whole place seem a lot less threatening than it was when we were first in here. But 'twas ever thus. Alright, not in there. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's down the south end of this level. Like this one. Oh, that looks like... Oh, not mind flayers. Absolutely not mind flayers. Fire not great. Okay, well, not as tough as I thought. Right, let's do a bit of curing. For poor old Tim, who's taking a pounding as usual. Silver omelets. You know what? I'm going to give that to Tim. So he maybe doesn't die quite as much. Although, he does now have 17 defense as opposed to 6. Does it really make that big a difference? Yes, it does make that big a difference. Well, I think that's probably a good idea, though, given his track record up until this point. No! Not mind flares! Absolutely not copyright infringing mind flares. No sorry. That's more like it. I should have known from their name, really, wasn't I? Pisco is to do with the water. So therefore it makes sense that they would be weak against lightning. Right, I think there were some other doors in here. Maybe this one. Yes. Oh my god! Not mind flares! Definitely not mind flares. Missed! He's right there! Oh god, lots of them. Oh no, just anacondas. Seriously? Well, that was worth it, wasn't it? Oh, well, the silver armlet was worth it, at least. Right, I think that might be it. I'll just have a quick scout round just to make sure. Ow. Nice crit there from Pierre. And a big hit from Sam to finish. Oh, another one. That looks suspicious, but not actually anything there. Oh, that's disappointing. Any more? Ooh. This looks important. And it's guarded by not mind flayers. $1,020 go. Well, I'm sorry for wasting all your time, everybody. But you know, it's better to get these things done, just in case there's something really important in them. Now I know there wasn't, and I know I've wasted both your time and my time. But you know, I think this was an important learning experience. It was important for us to go through this together. Because now we know. Now we know that a door locked by the Mystic Key and guarded by not mind flayers is not necessarily something worth bothering with. But anyway. Grease time! You are the one that needs to be hit with magic. Bye-bye. Right, let's get out of here. Where is the way out? My navigation skills are poor, apparently. Right, I think here? No, not there. Where is it? Here. Yes. Oops. Let me out of this place. Please let me out of this place. I just want to go home. Right. Enough of that for today, I think. Sorry that went on a little bit longer than intended, but, you know, like I say, it was important to get those things out of the way, because otherwise I'd forget to do them at all in the first place, and I know some of them weren't that relevant, but we got a couple of nice items out of it, so it's fine. So, for now, I'll just say, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. Be sure to check out moegamer.net for new articles on Japanese and Japanese-inspired video games, new and old, every weekday. Every month, Moegamer features an in-depth exploration of an individual game or series as its cover game, so be sure to check the archives to see if your favourite has had a deep dive yet. If you'd like to support the site directly, please consider becoming a patron or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.